Hey guys, welcome to this short video on the ketogenic diet. And my idea was basically just to put this short video together, just to help explain the diet that you'll be on a little bit better, just to give you more information. So we'll cover basically what the diet's about, the foods that are included on the diet, but also what foods aren't on the diet, as well as the diet plans as well, and just sort of preparing for the first study round in June. But to begin with, the diet, essentially a high fat, low carb diet. The pie chart on the right shows that the diet is mainly up of fat, so 75% fat from calories, and very low carb, so 5%, 50 grams a day of carbohydrate, and that's the crucial part of it. That very low amount of carbohydrate basically allows the body to fat adapt. So the first week you will be fat adapting, so the body adjusts to switching its main fuel source away from carbs towards fat. Also, the brain as well also does this. So the brain will only work on sugar, so it has to also adapt just like the body, and move away from the sugar and find an alternative fuel source in which to run on. The first couple of days you may feel a little bit tired or lethargic, or you might struggle to concentrate. This is perfectly normal. It does pass. I've done the diet myself. If you do have any questions about this, prior to the study or when you commence the study in June, please do get in contact with me and I can sort of share my own experience with you. Also, I've worked with a few guys over the last couple of weeks that have done this for me as a trial, and I've also found that well, and I've helped them through that. So if you do any trouble, if you get any worried at any point about that, please do get in contact with me and we can help you through that. So to cover the foods that are included on the diet, hopefully you've had a chance to look at the diet plans I've sent through. Basically, the diet is made up of things like fish, full-fat dairy, eggs, nuts, meats, and then the carb source of the diet is basically vegetables, very limited fruits. The one thing to watch out for on the diet is things like dairy, and just make sure you're getting the full fat version. So things like yogurts are a great example. A full fat original yogurt is a great source of fat and protein, very low source of carbs. However, if you go for the lower calorie version or the low fat version, then you get a yogurt that's not high in fat or protein and is just high sugar and high carbs. So that's just something to watch out for. Also, just look out for things like nuts as well. Make sure you're getting plain nuts and not getting things like honey roasted nuts or chili flavored nuts and things like that. And just make sure that those are plain nuts. Otherwise, they might be higher in carbohydrate than you may think. Food that aren't included on the diet, so things like anything basically high carb, so breads, rices, pastas are all out. Potatoes are out. Fruit juices and soft drinks, I'm afraid, aren't allowed on the diet either. Alcohol isn't allowed. The reason for that in the calorie content, as well as also the sugar content as well. Fruits will be on there very sparingly, so you've got things like berries, like half an apple here and there. Generally, fruit is very limited on there. Your main source of carbohydrate is veg. Drinks that are allowed on the diet, some are already on there, so things like coffee are on there sometimes as a snack. If you want to change that, that's not a problem, we can do that. But other stuff like things like sugar-free squash, water, or unsweetened coffee, so that might just be a coffee or just a white coffee, or unsweetened tea with milk. You can have these absolutely limited. Low calorie, low carb, not going to make too much of a difference. Certain drinks that I'd be looking at maybe not like that, things like milk because of the high calorie content, and trying to only have that when it's on the diet plan if you could. And then things that I would have, or drinks that I would be avoiding, obviously alcohol and juice we've already covered. Creamy coffees, so things like a cappuccino or a latte. If you are having coffee at your own choice, please go for the like a flat white or a coffee just because of the calorie content and the carbohydrate content. And when you have things like lattes and cappuccinos, they're slightly creamier, slightly more calorific, and also slightly more sugary as well. So that will make an impact on the diet. And also the last one there is green tea. So there is a little bit of research coming out now, quite a heavy bit of research now coming out. We've done some work on this. It's looked at green tea, and it does stimulate fat burning. So please to try and avoid that, because we want to see the effect of the diet on fat burning. Green tea would have an effect on that. Hopefully you've had a look at the diet plans I've sent across to you. If I haven't done this, or if I've forgotten, or you need me to resend these, then please do let me know. That's not an issue. The plan is to rotate these 3 days as best as possible. So on day 1, 2, and 3, you'll be on the diet. And day 4, you'll still be on the diet, but you'll go back to day 1. You're on the diet every day for the 6-week period. Hopefully that makes sense. Please do try and keep to the content as you possibly can. Ideally, you'll be sticking this religiously, 6 weeks. That's both the content and the portion size. I have put the portion sizes on there, so things will be weighed out in grams or in milliliters. Make life easier for you guys. I've also put on there on some foods how much that transfers to things like a tablespoon or a cup. So things like that, just to help make the measurements a little bit easier for you guys. There are any foods on there that you want to swap. So, for example, if there's one meal that's got like a mackerel, and you don't like fish, we can swap it. You can swap it for things like chicken or something else. And if you'd like to do that, for any foods that you don't like are on there, or that you're intolerant to, please do let me know, and we can swap them. That shouldn't be an issue at all. Just to let you know as well, I have added some instructions to the diet plans. So the ones you've received at the minute and the ones that you've got are very general. So these will be, once you've come in for testing for the first time, you've sent your training, or more crucially your food diary, you will receive new diet plans. Content will be the same. The calorie intake will be slightly different. So it will be individualized. So hopefully will maximize your adherence to the diet. So the calorie content of those meals of the days will be personalized to you. So if you do want any food swapping that are on there at the minute, please do let me know and we can do that. Other thing to bear in mind as well is something that I wanted to clear up was on certain snacks or meals, you may have things like butter listed as an ingredient. So things like coffee and butter is a great example. See what that will mean, the butter into the coffee. So a black coffee, and then just add the quantity of butter shown to that coffee, and that will just, it does raise a few eyebrows. All it tastes like is basically like a creamy latte. Other things as well, things like you've got like a burger with veg and then olive oil. What that will mean is basically just drizzle the olive oil, the quantity of olive oil will be on there, and just drizzle that over the veg and also the burger. Basically, what these ideas is just an easy way of getting the calories up, also getting the fat content as well. That's the idea behind them. Once you get the new individualized diet plans, you will have instructions on them. So so you don't have to remember that. That will be already typed up at the bottom. I've added them on the last couple of days, and so that will just make it a little bit easier for you guys as well. Okay, so basically just a few final points. Hopefully at the minute you're recording your 7-day food diary and your 7-day training diary prior to training for the first time in June. And the idea behind these is, one, to get an idea of what calorie intake you're on at the moment, so we can best personalize the plan when we put you on the diet, and also to get an idea of what you're earning at the moment as well. So if you're doing 3 runs a week at the minute, your training diary, hopefully we can keep that very similar when you're on the diet. So the calorie expenditure is very, very similar. Like I say, if you want any food swapping, please do let me know, and we can do that. It's not a problem. Over the course of the 6 weeks as well, I probably will get you to keep with the food diary, so we can maximize adherence to the diet, and also just to track calorie intake, make sure it's correct, and also for the training diary as well, make sure that the calorie expenditure is similar over the 6 weeks compared to prior to the study. Hopefully this has given you more information. If you do have any questions about the diet, please do get in contact with me. Also, if you have any questions about the study in a general manner, that could be as simply how to get to Cambridge, please do get in contact with me. That's not a problem. I will aim to try and contact you all individually before coming in for testing. Ideally, like a phone call, so it gives you a chance to ask any questions or clarify anything if you need it before you come in. That's not a problem. But like I say, any questions, any concerns about the study, the diet, please do get in contact, and I'll try to get back to you as quickly as I possibly can. But thank you very much, guys. Hopefully see you soon.